author Project 2025. You might think they do because Democrats make it appear as though Trump himself wrote it. But it has been attributed to his campaign by Democrats as part of their political strategy. And
what's going on, you guys? Today we have Ana Kasparian admitting that she was wrong. The Vanguard is calling out Ana Kasparian. Let's get into it.
Down memory lane. So if you just type in TYT Project 2025, beautifully, the first search result, Trump's plan is not Project 2025. Who could believe it? That's crazy. Let's take a quick look and see exactly what Ana had to say in this clip. Then we're going to take a look at one more.
So I totally believe this reporting. I think this is actually accurate reporting. And if reporters didn't just serve as stenographers for the Democratic Party, they would have maybe found out there's a different think tank that literally has the same slogan as Donald Trump, and they might have reported on that ahead of time instead, but they didn't. Go ahead,
And
Jake.
his top staffers were connected to it, including Kellyanne.
So this video is about how there's another plan that's, way less concerning than Project 2025. That, all these liberals in mainstream media and all these Democrats, they're freaking out and they want to fear monger about Project 2025. But in reality, there's this other one that like Kellyanne Conway is behind or something. And it's way less scary. It's way less scary. Actually, if Trump gets into power, it might not even be that dramatic at all. It's probably just going to be like any other Republican administration, right?
Yeah, I remember we reacted to this at the same time. And to Cenk's credit, this was before he had gone so soft on MAGA. He's actually pushing back on her from what I remember in this clip.
No, he's not.
No?
This one, he's not. There were other ones where he did. In this one, no, he goes on to say, yep, this is the real plan. I think we can watch him say that right here.
Conway, etc. So these guys are definitely in charge. And one of the Trump staffers on his campaign team said, they're not the transition team, but they kind of are. They said, he said, in effect, they are. They've got, because we didn't have time to plan it. And here's a hilarious part of the story before I get to the worst part of the story. They said Trump is superstitious, so he didn't want to talk about a transition team at all before he won, which then greatly delays them.
Either way, that's the main part of that one. If we go on to this, however.
So right here we have Ana Kasparian and Young Turks. They're saying that Project 2025 is not going to be the plan, not going to be Trump's, his entire project. That he's not really going into this. That's not really going to happen. And we can see what happens from here.
There's some more pretty embarrassing commentary from Ana Kasparian, and people in the comments have even recently pointed that out. This person says, what do you have to say now? You really were complicit. If we take a look at this, it's pretty shocking the degree to which she downplayed and minimized the reality of Project 2025 and whether or not Trump would actually implement some of these ideas.
Yeah, that's crazy because I for whatever reason I remember covering. I felt like Cenk was a little more rational on Project 2025 than Ana. But yeah, let's go ahead and play this because I could use a refresher for sure.
There were a few debates between the two where Cenk pushed back a little bit and said that there was a bigger chance it would actually
it was
be
the Heritage Foundation's project and all that shit. But
right, but yeah, take a look at this, guys. This one's absolutely wild.
I don't know what the hell it is. It's Project 25. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. They're seriously extreme, but I don't know anything about it.
Project 2025, I'm sure you heard of it. It was cooked up by the right-wing think tank known as the Heritage Foundation, and has been such a thorn in Trump's side that his team successfully pushed for the ouster of its director, a guy by the name of Paul Dans. Now, the Trump campaign did not author Project 2025. You might think they do because Democrats make it appear as though Trump himself wrote it. But it has been attributed to his campaign by Democrats as part of their political strategy. And I think that it is wrong to do this because when you inaccurately attribute something to Trump, when you cry wolf, well, when he actually does pose a threat on things, people are going to be fatigued from the fear mongering. And so I want wolf, well, do this because political strategy. And I think that it is wrong to do this because when you inaccurately attribute something to Trump, when you cry wolf, well,
we'll watch some more, but who the fuck was actually pretending that Donald Trump wrote Project 2025? Obviously, no one thinks that Donald Trump sat down with a pen and paper and wrote Project 2025. I think most Trump...
No, it's just clear that he's enacting it, and it's right before our eyes right now. So this is just one example of, oh, it's not going to be that bad, that he's not actually going to do everything. That's like the house isn't burning type of talk whenever it can and it should be. It should, the whole idea of it should be the house is on fire. Everything is on fire. Like, why are we going to say it's not going to happen whenever it literally is?
Critics understand that Trump is too lazy, he's too incompetent, he's too stupid to actually craft any of the real policy that's going to get pushed through under his administration. Therefore, yeah, hence the existence of Project 2025, hence the existence of all these policy writers coming together to compile this document to get him to push through on their behalf. Like, obviously, that was always the assertion. Not that Trump came up with it, not that he organically created it from scratch.
Yeah, Trump has never organically come up with a policy in his entire life. In fact, most policymakers do not. They rely on the lobbyist threads. It's part of the really, fucking corrupt element of our government. And TYT has made so much content over the years about the Heritage Foundation and how evil they are and how they've embedded themselves in all elements of the Republican Party, which is why I imagine that there would have been some pushback from Cenk, because what Anna's saying is completely untrue. And not only, again, I'm not sure exactly when this clip was uploaded. I don't know if we knew about JD Vance or not by this time. But
6 months ago.
6 months ago, we definitely knew about JD Vance. That would have been 4 months before the election. That would have been August. We would have known JD Vance would have been. So that was at a point where it was absolutely inarguable after that. This is a trad cath. I want to return back to the, old school ways of American society. We have to ban porn. We have to stop transing the use. This was the whole reason you pick a guy like JD Vance. It was a huge signal to that faction of the Republican Party that Trump was still with you, that he hadn't gone soft.
And remember, JD Vance literally wrote the foreword for the Heritage Foundation guy's book.
They're like this. They're directly connected. That's why after JD Vance's a selection as the VP, it was inarguable that it was going to be a part of the campaign.
Yeah, and honestly, even before JD Vance was picked, I think it's pretty inarguable. I mean, look who picked every single one of Trump's Supreme Court justices. It was the Heritage Foundation. All of Trump's SCOTUS picks came directly from the Heritage Foundation list of approved justices. I mean, how much more owned can you be if they're literally picking your SCOTUS picks? Either way, let's keep watching this. It's pretty crazy, guys.
When he
Make sure you guys like and subscribe for more content like this.
Actually does pose a threat on things, people are going to be fatigued from the fear mongering. And so I want to make my case on this. Now, let's get back to the director of Project 2025. Paul Danz's exit comes after the project completed exactly what it set out to do, bringing together over 110 leading conservative organizations to create a unified conservative vision, motivated to devolve power from the unelected administrative state and returning it to the people. Heritage Foundation.
That is the Silicon Valley corporate speak for what Elon Musk is doing to our government right now, right? Leading the conservative organizations to create a unified conservative vision motivated to devolve power from the unelected administrative state. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get rid of the Department of Education. They're defanging the SEC. They're defanging the institutional powers that maintain checks and balances on the executive branch. They're outsourcing responsibilities that once were exclusively be held by the president. Now it's some guy that's from South Africa that's the richest man in the world that not only has awarded himself a $400 million contract, so he's already doubled his.
So there we have it, you guys. We have Ana Kasparian sticking up for Project 2025 a few months ago, where she was saying, this is just an idea. This is nothing that Trump is actually going to put into play. And this is where you guys are all sort of crazy. You guys are just talking about it, and you're not going to get anybody to actually believe you, and sort of dismissing what was going to happen and what's clearly happening in front of us. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's another day in the progressive way.